evening. I'm Dan Wolf. Laura has the night off. Thanks for joining us. The controversy arose after Mayor Reiner did not include such funding in his original budget proposal for next year. And while it will now be included for another year, its future after that is unclear. So tonight, Northern News Now's Michaela Wrench takes a look at the work the Community Crisis Response Team does and why those who support it call it crucial.
Sometimes during urgent mental health situations, the police and fire departments don't have the resources needed to de-escalate a situation. That's why the Duluth Human Development Center created a Community Emergency Crisis Response Team.
And we're trying to kind of open up a new avenue of care for people to receive, especially in very vulnerable moments.
Its director, Michael Furo, says the program offers a more individualized approach by professionals and specialists to people who may not feel comfortable speaking with law enforcement during a mental health crisis or emergency.
Whether they're anxious, they're scared about something, they can't think straight, our team are going to be able to kind of bring the level down by talking to them, by using empathetic listening.
Furo says a major part of the program is trying to reduce the load on emergency medical services.
Oftentimes, Duluth Police and Duluth Fire were responding to these calls, and we weren't really the right agency. We didn't have the expertise, the training, all the right skills to handle what could be a mental health emergency.
Duluth Fire Chief Sean Crige was asked by the city to be the crisis response team's liaison, advising in certain areas while handling the finances. The program is funded by grants. Duluth Mayor Roger Reiner recently proposed cutting the program's $600,000 grant after this year, saying it should be funded by the county or state.
We've seen an uptick, more calls annually as people learn that this program exists and have to develop trust in the program.
The fire chief, many residents, and community leaders pushing for a relatively new approach to mental health and crisis to continue. In Duluth, Michaela Wrench, Northern News Now.
And the program also offers resources and services for people experiencing homelessness, addiction, or anything that may be causing distress or ill thoughts.